If you wish to hear someone talk about a story of a little girl who explores the great outdoors and teaches Spanish lessons and numbers, it is for the best that you click on a different video. The story that I'm about to talk about not only has no happy ending, but there's no happy beginning, and hardly any happy things in the middle. I am of course talking about a series of unfortunate events, 13 books written by Lemony Snicket. Well, Lemony Snicket is more of a pen name, which is a term meaning the author went under a different name in publishing his work. The author's real name is Daniel Handler, yet when publishing these books, he went under the pen name Lemony Snicket. If you want to have a good night's sleep, don't read any of these books, nor should you watch the film adaptation of the first 3 installments. Now would be a good time to stop watching and look for something more lighthearted. The film revolves around the 3 Baudelaire children, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny. One day, while the 3 are at Briny Beach by themselves, the Baudelaire mansion erupts into flames and kills the parrots. The parrots have left behind a vast fortune that will be kept in the bank until Violet comes of age. Until then, the children are to be under the care of their closest living relative. Supposedly, it is talented actor Count Olaf. Now, Count Olaf is merely a pseudonym, which means something similar to pen name, that the actor goes by whilst performing within the film. His real name is Jim Carrey. Anyway, Count Olaf, or Jim Carrey if you prefer, only wants to get a hold of the Baudelaire fortune, which is why he wishes to keep them under his custody. Throughout the film, the Baudelaires get to live with different relatives, but Olaf is never far behind and uses various disguises that only the children see through. I tried to warn you of the dread that awaited. I think I made my point. 'Tis a dreadful story I presented. Should I just end the video right now? Or were what I explained just the bare basics? There is more about it that makes it an unfortunate tale. You don't have to hear the rest. Just the bare basics is unsettling enough. What more I'm about to explain is far worse. Unless you happen to like dark gothic stories. In this case, you're brave. And maybe stupid at the same time. For those who fall into this crowd, this film does not disappoint. True to its title, it's bad news after bad news. Unfortunate events, if you will. The same way I tried to warn you to stay away, Lemony Snicket warns you at the beginning that you can still look for something more lighthearted. Well, it's not actually Lemony Snicket. It's really someone who goes by the name Jude Law. Through the movie, he serves as the narrator as well as someone who documents the lives of the Baudelaire children and how deeply tragic they were, not only because of the fire responsible for the death of their parents, but also because of their encounters and what is caused from them. Jim Carrey's performance as Count Olaf was mostly improvised, which is a theater term meaning the actor performs without a script, basically making up dialogue and actions on the spot. Sometimes it works, and other times it's a bit goofy. Not one of the best we've seen from Carrey, but how can you resist? Maybe you could resist since... Never mind. Since the film only adapts from the first 3 books, it doesn't follow them directly because that would not have worked out so well as a feature. Some of the scenes are rearranged in a different order, though for the most part follows a timeline consistently. But the climax of the film is the climax of the first book. Some of the scenes within the film were not from the books, such as a scene where Count Olaf attempts to kill the Baudelaire children by parking his car on train tracks perpendicular to a convenience store and locking them in. I guess the idea of the scene was to display how clever the children could be, even in tricky situations like this, when they come up with a way to activate the track switcher. So yeah, in short, it's not a direct adaptation. Later on, starting 2017 and ending 2019, a TV series based on all the books streamed on Netflix, with Count Olaf being the alias for Neil Patrick Harris instead of Jim Carrey. For Lemony Snicket, his real name is Patrick Warburton, not Jude Law. The series ran for 3 seasons and 25 episodes total. Don't check it out if you want to spare yourself the misery. There's something much more pleasant you could be streaming instead. Same goes for reading the books or watching the movie. Only look into it if you feel that you could go through it without bawling your eyes out or hiding under your blanket. Otherwise, you should switch the channel to Cartoon Network or anything less tragic.